I'm Dr. Rhodes, vitalistic chiropractor, and the question is, what's the first thing you need to know about chiropractic? So there's actually three things we can start with. The first is an understanding that everything in the universe, including your body, is always changing. It's always in the process of becoming something else. And so once we really get our heads around that, I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, but the more I thought about it when I first heard that, the more impact it had. And my body's always changing. There's thousands of things happening in every cell. There's billions of cells, trillions of cells in the body. So at the end of every day, the body's either working a little bit better or a little bit worse. There's a little more aliveness or a little more deadness. It's a little stronger or a little bit weaker every single day, and every single week, and every single month, and every year. So in order for the body to consistently get stronger and healthier every day, one of the three things that has to happen is this. There has to be clear communication between the brain and all the cells in the body. Because the cells in the body are kind of like orchestra members. Every member of an orchestra is very talented in their particular instrument, but when they're warming up before the concert, it just sounds like a bunch of noise. You walk in early and go, Christ, I didn't pay to hear this. What's all this noise about? And then when it comes time for them to play, the conductor comes out and taps the baton, gets everybody's attention, lets them know which piece of music they're going to play, and conducts them so they know when to start, and when to stop, and how fast to play, and how loud and how soft, and you come in now and you tone it down a little bit. So the conductor actually orchestrates all these different parts so they can make a beautiful symphony. Well, in our body, it's the brain that's doing that. That's the purpose of the brain. It's not just about thinking. It actually monitors every single cell in the body all the time, listens to what it's up to, tells it what to do next, and the brain is actually like perceiving the environment to know how it wants these cells to best adapt to the rest of the environment. So in order to get stronger every day, there has to be a clear connection between the brain and the cells, and of course the nerve system is the link between these physical structures. So how do we make sure that the integrity of the nerve system is sound? Well, it so happens that the main part of the nerve system lives inside of the backbone. And this is where chiropractic comes into the picture, because if the spine's integrity is good, if it moves the way it's supposed to, if it's in proper alignment all the time, it's going to set the proper tone, the mechanical tension, on the nerve system. And like a guitar string or a violin string, if it's in tune, it plays properly, and the nerve system is sensitive to the right pressure. So if the spine is in alignment, and every time you breathe, every time your heart beats, every time you move, it moves, it's always going to set the right tension on the nerve system. The cells are connected, your body continually heals, and adapts to stress really well. But if stress were to overwhelm your system, and the nerve system gets a little confused and pulls on the muscles and the bones get out of place and stuck, then that's going to further impede the function of the nerve system. If the spine is misaligned or stuck in any place, it's going to cause a partial disconnect between the brain and spinal cord, between the brain and the cells. You look at it this way too. Brain cells have a nerve pathway that talks to the tissue cells of the body. The tissue cells talk back to the brain again, and if the spine gets out of place, then we have a disconnect. And when this happens, the body stops working perfectly and starts working less well. And over time, you can start to accumulate more and more cells that are offline than online, and your body starts to get into a state where you might feel symptoms of something. And if the symptoms persist and you go out and see a medical person and they give you a diagnosis, they might actually dignify this lack of normalcy with a name. And now you've got this named disease. And anybody who's ever raised an animal knows if you name the animal, it's yours for life. You're not going to eat this animal, so you're not going to get rid of it. So if they say, oh, you've got this disease, you've got that disease, and the other thing, it's not good to hang on to that stuff, because what's really going on is you didn't get a disease. You simply have a lack of organization in your body. The cells aren't working the way they're supposed to because the brain got out of whack because there was too much stress. So what chiropractic says is we know how to close the gap. We know how to get the brain and body talking to each other again. And it's by a lot of different methods we can cause the spine to get back to normal again. That's what chiropractic spinal adjusting is all about. It's not about your back. It's not about your pain. It's about your life. And your life is what flows over the nerves and causes everything to happen.